What I'm going to do is just do the formalities of the AGM, which will be fairly quick. A quick review of our board, because I do think it's important for people to understand who we have around our board and what a great board we have in terms of helping with this, with the LEP. So, first of all, I'm going to do the formalities of the AGM, and the minutes from the 2018 AGM can be found online and are approved here today. The accounts for the year ended 31st March 2009 were approved by the board at its meeting on 10th July and can be found online. Just a quick run through the board, and I think this, I won't labour the point, but I really did want to make the point that what a wonderful and diverse board we have, and what a strong board we have. So here myself as chairman, with an outstanding chief executive, with Jonathan Sharrock, and as we said before, we're incredibly pleased that Julie has taken on the role as vice chairman and doing it with real aplomb. We then have some business board members. And again, to give you a sense of the sort of people we have around the table, Jamie Arnell is a partner of Charterhouse Venture Capital, one of the biggest venture capital companies in the UK, I think 14 billion under management. Karen Jukes is a non-executive and a distinguished former PwC partner with a great financial expertise. Martin Harris, and we're working along the top there, runs the buses in Brighton and runs Metro Bus, and again you can see the expertise that he can bring to us. Richard Hopkins runs a company called Fargrow that supplies the horticultural sector. So again, you can see how we're covering that incredibly important sector. Amanda Jones is finance director of the Brighton Dome and very involved in the arts, deputy chief executive of the arts across the coast. David Joy is a very distinguished developer. He was the developer behind Stratford, developer behind King's Cross, and he's now on our board, and we're very, very privileged to have him. Mike Leroy is a senior manager in American Express, somehow finds time amongst a very senior role in Amex to give a lot to the LEP. Rosalind Laird is our Croydon rep and has very, very experience in property services. And finally, Claire, you know, who's been here in front of us, and you can see what fantastic attribute Claire is for the board and her company, Man Bites Dog. And one of the things about the LEP is how it draws together business and public sector. And so we have on the board Louise Goldsmith, the leader of West Sussex, Colin Kemp, deputy leader of Surrey, Tony Newman, the leader of Croydon, Nancy Platts, the leader of Brighton, and we then have from the districts Mark Brunt from Reigate and Banstead, and Dan Humphries from Worthing. You can see that these are very senior politicians, very eminent politicians in our area, so it's really great that we've got the politicians and businesses around the table together. And then finally, in terms of the board, we have Francis Rutter from Nescott, so further education, and we have the Vice-Chancellor of Sussex University, Adam Tickell. So what I suppose I'd like to say is that isn't that a wonderful group of people? We're incredibly lucky to have them around the board. I feel very privileged, a bit surprised that I'm somehow chairing them, because they're a lot more eminent than I am. But nevertheless, what a great board, and I think that you can feel very confident in this board in terms of the vital work we do. We're also aware, and as Julie mentioned very nicely, that Darryl Gaylor has been unwell. Actually, Jonathan and myself went to see him a couple of weeks ago. Has been very seriously hurt by his stroke, but the progress he's making is just wonderful. And I felt absolutely inspired when I came out of seeing him in that meeting. The change from, say, 3-4 months ago, where it was quite hard to be there with him, to now is amazing. And I think he's going to be back up and, not necessarily up and running, but really making a great recovery relative to what's happened to him. Our further items are the capital articles have been updated in line with our governance, and they are online. So if you are interested, do have a look. And I'd also like to commend the annual report, which is also online. I thought what I'd do is also conclude, really, with some thoughts that I have about what we've just heard, and really maybe remind us a little bit about the sort of things we were hearing, because I think it's been a wonderful afternoon and very, very interesting. I thought Julie's introduction was excellent, and I share your passion, Julie, for diversity in its widest sense. So it's not just, it is a more nuanced thing, and the work you're doing, as I said, my understanding of diversity has improved dramatically. Thank you very much for that. Jonathan, a great overview on the success of the LEP, delivery focus, those impressive outputs, wonderful projects, the Fairfield Hall. I think we're all going to enjoy Gatwick Airport Station when it's done. I'm looking forward to that. Don't hold your breath. Nevertheless, I mean, 10 years' time, there's going to be a wonderful station there, or I don't know how long, 5 years' time maybe. I think the 5G testbed is, again, very impressive. 800 businesses supported through the Growth Hub, and very proud of our escalator programme. And the support we're going to try and give to businesses during Brexit, I think, is going to be well worthwhile. And you can see the emphasis now we're having on the local industrial strategy. And I was very impressed, Jonathan, with the enthusiasm and openness and your willingness to listen. And we're very much here for everybody to listen to you. Chris, I enjoyed your presentation very much, very lively, and that is economic stats done in a lively manner. or urban status, commercial property, skills, R&D, innovation and digital. Very, very useful data. I think it shows we're doing okay. It shows we're very mixed in our region. Some parts are brilliant, some parts are a little less good. It shows I think you have to sort of balance the fact we can do better with the fact that we're doing very, very well in certain areas. I think it gives me a great deal of confidence that we understand where we are. And for any bit of work that we do, it's important to understand that, have a good evidence base of our diverse area, and that enables us to make the right decisions in terms of investment. It was striking, I thought, the lack of 25 to 40-year-olds, and you can see how housing affordability is part of the cause of that. But that graph is pretty interesting. An excellent list of summary actions, and I thought that would be well worth a reread for everybody. And again, the point was made, we really are up for your comments from the consultation. So thank you very much on that. Claire, yes, a compelling call to action. Why am I not surprised about that? Let's not take our prosperity for granted. We have great potential. We have some incredibly dynamic areas, a great deal of natural capital, very skilled people. It's such a wonderful area. We're so proud of it. You can see the potential there. But the point is that there is some stagnation of growth and productivity in the overview. We can be quite inconsistent. So we just do need to address those issues that are slightly weaker. We can see the business profile of small business is not quite growing as one would hope. You can also see the need for skills, the need for lifelong learning. And then that's linked back very nicely into our LIS. We need to think about our comparative advantage, our distinctive identity, and we need a clear ask. I'm very confident that the board will create the compelling message from the LIS. I'm sure that Claire particularly will help us create the compelling message based on the massive amount of research and hard work from all the team and with all your help. And I thought the Q&A epitomised the sort of feedback we're going to get and the sort of questions that we'll have from everybody. So again, we very much look forward to the feedback, and the consultation is going to be very seriously done by us, and we're really going to listen. Finally, Julie and Wincy Wong, that was a great fun and a very serious message. As I say, I felt a bit ashamed coming up here and cutting you off, but nevertheless. What a serious message, really, female entrepreneurs. What an amazing opportunity. The 250 billion figure is a very striking figure, and even if we get halfway or a quarter of the way to that, something amazing has happened. Let's get these women into the STEM subjects, which I think we should, and certainly I'm actually hearing that is happening a wee bit. 5 key barriers, of which we heard 3, because Julie, you were running very strict there. But perhaps access to finance and family care, and that point about how they're there for men, but they're amplified for women, and we've just got to do something about it. I quite agree. So lots of compelling stats, a very clear action plan. That's great, really very, very impressive. So that really was what I took from it, from our day. I thought it was really good. I want to say thank you to Jonathan and the team for all the hard work they do. I do want to pay tribute to Jonathan as a just fantastic chief executive. We're very pleased to have him with us. So in conclusion, I say please feed us back on this consultation. We really are listening. We really do want to hear what everybody says. And I can now release you for drinks, which have been very, very kindly sponsored by DMH Stallard. So I look forward to talking with you later. Many thanks.